So what does it actually mean? Let's bring in Tom Parkin. Tom is an NDP strategist. He's aware of this. He knew this was coming a little while ago. Tom, bring us up to speed on why the NDP is doing this right now.
Well, the NDP is used the minority parliament to extract some big policy pieces out of Trudeau. The dental care plan, which is now helping millions of people go to the dentist that they couldn't afford to do. The pharmacare plan that is now in the Senate, almost passed. Anti-scab legislation. So some big pieces were extracted from a pretty weak Justin Trudeau Liberal Party. But now the time has turned, and it's turned from creating wins for Canadians to protecting them from Pierre Poilievre. Because we can all read the polls, and I'm sure Jagmeet Singh can read the polls. Pierre Poilievre's way ahead. And Pierre Poilievre will destroy these programs, will destroy these gains for Canadians. So Mr. Singh has to do everything in his power to reposition himself to stop Pierre Poilievre because, Justin Trudeau is just in no position to do that. We know he is on his way out. He's really effectively being dead weight to his party, to this deal, to Mr. Singh, and all the programs that Mr. Singh has had to extract out of him. So Mr. Trudeau's on his way out. Mr. Singh now has to create a head-on competition with Pierre Poilievre and try and bring Poilievre down. So that he can protect the programs that he fought for over the last 2 years.
You know, Tom, it's interesting, too, the timing of all of this, and the conversations that would have gone on behind closed doors. What we heard from our correspondent was these were conversations that were happening within the NDP, a while ago, earlier this summer. But then there was this sort of interesting wrinkle last week where the leader of the Conservatives, Pierre Poilievre, came out and officially said, okay, it's time for the NDP to end their deal with Justin Trudeau. We need a federal election here. Some called it political grandstanding because we thought, well, the NDP is never going to do that. That was one of the narratives. But in fact, now here we are, and they they have done that. I just want to play something that Pierre Poilievre said last week, Tom, and then just get your reaction to it and what it means. Let's listen to that right now.
He will not quit. He must be fired. And the person to do it is Jagmeet Singh. Break the costly coalition with Trudeau to trigger a carbon tax election where Canadians can choose.
All right, Tom. So, you're saying, no. This was decided way before Pierre Poilievre came out and said that last week.
Well, I that's what your reporter said. I don't know that, but I understand that. The video obviously was prepared and that the decision was made some while ago. So Mr. Poilievre, maybe he, Ottawa's a funny place. Secrets get out. Maybe he did that because he thought he could get ahead of the curve. But the fact is that Mr. Poilievre has had no influence on Jagmeet Singh's decision on this one. And the issue for Mr. Singh now is, with respect to Mr. Poilievre, if Mr. Poilievre thinks that that Jagmeet Singh can't read the polls and is just going to hand him the keys to the Prime Minister's office, I think he's a very, very foolish man. That's obviously not going to happen. Mr. Poilievre is vowing to destroy the things that Jagmeet Singh and the NDP have been working to build, to extract from Justin Trudeau, things that Justin Trudeau had to be brought kicking and screaming to do. And he's not going to sign that away just because Pierre Poilievre says so. No, of course not. So what he's got to do is Singh has got to do is a very difficult task. He's got to build himself up and be the alternative to Trudeau and Poilievre, but especially Poilievre, to secure the kind of things that Singh has fought for, which frankly are, polling shows are popular. Dental care, popular. Pharmacare, popular. Anti-scab legislation and unions, popular. So, the thing is going to now be, when we have votes, each one of them could be an election vote. And the question that has to be asked all around is this the time to have an election, or will it simply result in electing Pierre Poilievre, who will then destroy the things that the NDP has created? That's the new calculus.
Hey, Tom, let me also ask you about those two key by-elections that are coming up. And again, the
Yeah.
effect you think they may be having on the decision of the NDP. So you've got one interesting one in Manitoba in the riding of Elmwood-Transcona. That is an NDP riding. Daniel Blakey leaving. They are trying to hold that riding. Their big competitor in Manitoba in that riding is the Conservatives, not the Liberals. Then in Montreal, you've got the riding of LaSalle and Verdun. That too is a Liberal riding. Their big competitor in the past has been either the Bloc Québécois or the NDP. And you heard it from our correspondent there that some of the door knockers in that riding anyway are hearing from people, well, you know, you're basically like Liberal light here. You're supporting Trudeau. So I'm wondering whether what we're seeing today is in part related to those two by-elections and the NDP wanting to hold that one in Manitoba and possibly, you know, to tap into discontent with the Liberals in Montreal and maybe win that riding in Montreal. Thoughts?
The seat in Montreal is a hardcore Liberal bastion. The Liberals got 50% of the vote last time, 47, I think, Todd, something of that sort, and has been a very strong seat for a very long time for the Liberals. The NDP taking it away from them in this by-election would be massive. It would be a massive statement that Trudeau is gone. The Liberals are unelectable, and that the new force that is possibly, hopefully, capable of stopping Pierre Poilievre's cuts is the Jagmeet Singh NDP. So they are, I think, probably yes. The timing of this is absolutely tied to trying to give a boost to the chances of winning in Montreal and keeping the seat in Winnipeg, because that'll, added on this discussion today, will really change the narrative about where do progressive people, people with a different vision than Pierre Poilievre for this country, where do they need to coalesce to stop what looks like right now is inevitable? Because if it's Trudeau against Poilievre will win. So that's not. We have to come up with a new dynamic, and so Singh is trying to create the opening, and then he's going to try and crawl through it as much as he can.
Hey, Tom, what do you think Justin Trudeau is going to come out and say? Because, again, we're just following this event that's about to get underway in Newfoundland. The Prime Minister could cut him out momentarily. He's there to talk about the National Food Program, and he will do that. He may say something right at the beginning. He may not say something at the beginning, but no doubt he's going to get questions about it once the media are allowed to take the mic. So what's Trudeau's framing of this? Because we understand he may have only found out, I mean, you point out, and rightly so, in Ottawa, there's a lot of rumors and whispers that go around, so he may have heard this was coming, but nevertheless, here it is now. What do you think he's going to say?
Well, I imagine he's going to come out in defense of the deal and in defense of what it produced, which is great, because it did produce some good things that frankly are very worth protecting from Pierre Poilievre. But Justin Trudeau is obviously not the guy to do it. This not your question. I think what he's going to say is to talk about the credit that is owed to him for this deal. And I think that the history of that is just too clear, that Justin Trudeau was against all these things until the moment that he had Jagmeet Singh extracting them from him. So I don't know. I'd be curious. I'm looking forward to watching it myself.
And the Conservatives' reaction to this, no doubt they'll say, oh, well, the NDP followed what we told them to do. They're pulling the plug.
Yeah. Well, let's just say, I mean, I don't think that Jagmeet Singh listens to Pierre Poilievre's advice. Jagmeet Singh's going to do what's best for himself and the New Democratic Party's aspirations. And at this point, that is all about trying to take the fight to Mr. Poilievre, to ask Canadians to really think deeply. Is this what you want in a prime minister? Is this the vision you have of your country? Because this is the choice now between a government of cuts.
Hey, Tom, I'm going to jump in here right now because I
investment.
see the Prime Minister is coming out. Let's go to that live if we can.